Hello, hi, it's Liz here, and today this little journal and a little packet of mixed ephemera is going in my Etsy shop. So I just wanted to show you a quick flip through. I'm super pleased with how this one's turned out. It's got a little bit of seam binding as a closure. It's just a loose closure, so you can change that around if you want, but that'll be sent to you with the journal. I've left the label blank. I wasn't sure whether to stamp journal or notebook or your name, but I wouldn't know what name to put on it. So I just left it blank so that you can fill in your own title if you want to stamp or put stickers on, or just leave it blank. There's a little scissor charm and a little button charm attached with one of these bulb pins. So let's go inside. There's a little pocket on the front cover here with just a little journaling tag. It's quite plain. There's limited decoration so that you can make it your own and decide what you're going to do with it. So this first page has been stitched around and it's quite thick scrapbook paper. Then there's a page of vellum. Then there's some pattern paper, which is quite floppy. There's some page from an atlas, which has been stitched down one side. This is more scrapbook paper. Then there's a vintage 1958 annual school friend. Some botanical pages, well, one botanical page, and then a little pocket with this cute journaling spot there. That's scrapbook paper. Then some nice plain grey paper, music page. This is from a Scottish Places book, which is pretty old. That's old paper there. This is from just a second-hand book about fonts, so it's had a little bit of stitching down the side. Some craft paper, another page from a book, and then some thick scrapbook paper, which is the centre, and it's got 4 tags in the 2 pockets. The tags have been lightly decorated with a little bit of lace and a little bit of rickrack. They're both very similar. Whoops. With a little bit of sari silk at the top. It's been bound with a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch with wax cord. And there's plenty there if you want to put a little bit of a dangle on the end or just leave it. And then it's just the same on the other side, a book page, the craft paper, the font book, the old Scottish book, music, the grey page, scrapbook paper, the botanical page, the 1958 annual, the matching pocket with the journaling card with the little bits of lace. So it's kind of a sewing theme, but kind of not. There's quite a lot of vintage different papers in it, but I suppose the main, if there's a theme, then it would be a sewing theme, and then the back's just plain, and that's, so it's quite a floppy cover. It's got 3 layers inside. So there's the fabric, the toning fabric, then there's, you always find little bits of thread, don't you? Then there's a sheet of wadding, then there's a sheet of felt, and then there's another piece of wadding, then there's the outer fabric. So there's 3 layers in between the 2 layers of fabric, and it's been stitched all around and then zigzag cut with the pinking shears. And yeah, and then it's just a open spine there, and that's the the ribbon. Can't remember the name of it, and I said it earlier. So you get a little packet with a little, I thought it would be nice to put a little bit of spare fabric in, and you can maybe add a fabric pocket or do something with the fabric that's matching the journal. So a little bit of that. Seam binding there, that's what that's called, seam binding. So a little bit of vintage pattern paper. So these are just all bits that you can use to decorate. There's a few wee pieces of the scrapbook paper. Those little pieces there are all scrapbook paper. Then there's some vintage pattern paper. Vintage pattern paper. Yep, some from a book, a sewing book. Then there's these 4 bigger pieces of scrapbook paper. So there's those 4, and then a bigger piece of scrapbook, of course, buttons. Another piece, and one of these little index cards that I thought was a nice colour to match. So that's all the pieces that you get with the journal. Let me see if I can get them back in the little pocket. So yeah, it's going to be in the Etsy shop today. So if you want to have a pop over and see some still pictures and have a study, then I will be putting them on the over in the Etsy, and I'll leave a description to the Etsy shop. I won't leave a description of the Etsy shop. I'll leave a link to the Etsy shop in the description. So I hope you enjoyed that little flip through, and yeah, thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video, a thumbs up would be great, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.